Here we are on beautiful Jones Street.
You saw Ted Jones.
What's up? We've got the 7th annual Ted Jones World Vegan Hot Dog Eating Contest here in the center of Union Square, July 5th, 2 p.m. There's gonna be t-shirts. There's gonna be vegan hot dogs. 10 minutes, all you can eat vegan hot dogs for pre-selected competitors. Come check it out, guys. It's gonna be a madhouse here, right there, right in the center of Union Square. So hope to see you guys then.
But I've seen guys smoke crack at work, like no question about it.
Like out of the pipe.
Yeah, they go outside to smoke crack. They come back. I am strongly considering a run for mayor.
No way.
I don't know, man. Like AOC did it. Spencer Pratt tried it. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't know how you would even approach something like that. Right?
But the idea is there.
Hey-o, how we doing?
So I spoke to them in the beginning of the episode, and I let them know that we've got the 7th annual Ted Jones World Vegan Hot Dog Eating Contest Sunday, July 5th at 2 p.m. What I did not let them know yet is you were the first sign up. You're the first guy I reached out to. Or you're the first confirmed contestant, and I'm pumped about that. Because we spoke about this like 9 months ago, I think.
I'm pretty excited about, because you had a couple, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of crazy.
A couple, bro. This is the 7th. The first 2 that we did were on Zoom.
That's hysterical.
Yeah. And
how did you met? What did you make people buy their own?
No, I sent it to them. So I bought it.
Fucking everyone 2 packs of hot dogs?
Yeah, I sent everyone like $30 worth of buns and hot dogs.
That's hysterical.
But this year it should be pretty big, man. I'm looking forward to it. And thank you for the coffee. I gotta say,
oh, you're welcome.
That's hospitality on the guest end.
Look, I know what I look and sound like, so I try to make sure everyone knows I'm kind of a nice guy too. You know?
What do you mean? You come off as like not a nice guy? Well, maybe why? Because you're a construction worker also during the day?
Yeah, hand tattoos. I have the voice of a grizzly bear. What's that?
I didn't even notice that. And you have your son's a name on your...
Correct. That way, so when I turn like 80 and I forget things, I still know what his name is.
But dude, you're not going to forget anything because you're vegan.
Well, because I got news for you. I'm 49. I'm already starting to forget some stuff.
Really? How long have you been vegan, actually?
25 years.
Gee, what were you eating 25 years ago, though? They didn't really have anything that was like...
Yeah, dude, I literally was eating salads and like fucking frying tofu. Fucking pizza with no cheese. French fries. And
French fries. That was like, I think that was the first thing when I really transferred over. That was the thing that I was just eating all the time.
Carbs.
Yeah, French fries and then Beyond Burgers, Impossible Burgers. I was just not a healthy vegan. I think like that's the best way to transfer from not being vegan to being vegan is like eating all the processed foods.
They ask me at work all the time, like, oh, you're vegan, what'd you eat last night? I'm like, bro, I had fucking bacon cheeseburger. You know what I mean? Sausage and peppers and shit. Like,
yeah.
That's what I love about us is like we're literally like the polar opposites of like what vegans look like. It's like you're in shape and like, and I'm me, bro. You know. Well, I'm strong. Like I like to tell people like I'm blue collar, working class, construction strong, right? But I have some fat because, dude, I love sugar. Like I don't give a fuck. Like I got to the age where I was like, I don't think I'm going to try to lose the weight this time.
Are you drinking like a lot of sodas?
I'm a soda. Yeah, dude, I'm so addicted to soda.
Interesting. What's your go-to?
If I had to pick one on a desert island, I'm taking grape.
Desert island?
Yeah.
Wait, what? You take a grape?
Have to, yeah. You're picking one flavor and you don't pick grape?
And I think that's got to be the most heavily sugared soda, right?
It's the sweetest. There's no question.
Like
it's
orange might even... I don't think orange is as much as grape, too.
No, grape tastes
is number
like
one.
fucking sugar, yeah.
So you have lived a very interesting life thus far, being a stand-up comedian, working in construction in New York City, also being a vegan. There are a number of like pinpoint questions that I obviously have for you, but I think I would like to start from the beginning, how you got to New York, your heritage. You and I met at New York Comedy Club about like a year and a half ago or so. So let's start from there. Where did you grow up, and then how did you get into New York and then the construction business?
So I'm born and raised, literally born in an apartment above a fire department. Fucking lived in Glendale, grew up in Glendale.
Queens.
Glendale, Queens, Forest Park. I wrote graffiti in my teens, FTR and all types. I wrote graffiti on the trains. That's how old I am.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
I was at Forest Hill Stadium the other day, by the way, shooting a commercial. But that's not that close to Forest Park, is it?
No, Forest Hills is it's not that far at all. It's not that close at all.
Oh. Okay.
Forest Park is like between
Queens,
Woodhaven, and like it's like on Myrtle Avenue.
Yeah, when I worked in sorry to interrupt, but when I worked in real estate, I went out to Woodhaven here and there. Take the Jay-Z train.
The Jay-Z train. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I grew up, Glendale. And then like my parents weren't great, so they were like, you either go to school or you work, right? So I was like, fuck school. I like money. So I started working. I had like my first job at like 13 years old. And then I didn't do so great in high school. And then I got my GED. And I fucking literally like had like 30 jobs between the time I was like 18 years old and like 21. And then I joined Local 3. Literally. Fucking right in the fucking back door.
And what's Local 3? Union?
Local 3 electricians. Yeah.
Electricians. Okay.
Union. That's the union for electricians. 25 years later, here I am. Hand tattoos, rings and shit, you know?
And the primary buildings and projects that you do, are those like big developments or is it city stuff?
Industrial and commercial. So if you see like a new building going up, like I don't work in people's apartments is the best way to say it. Like fucking work on train tracks or fucking boiler rooms, or like if you see a big building going up, like I'm the type of, that's what I do.
But not residential, commercial.
Zero residential. No, we don't. I will never be in an apartment like this.
Okay, but what's really the difference between when you develop a residential and you're working on electric versus commercial working on electric? If you're talking about how you said that you'd never work on a building like this, I know like this is.
We'll build the building going up.
Yeah.
When you say residential, when we hear it, we mean like working in someone's apartment.
Oh, I meant that if you develop a residential tower or something.
We do that type of shit. Yeah. They're not building like a lot of. They're building buildings right now, but they don't build like humongous complexes like Stuytown or like projects anymore.
Yeah. Right.
So it's always one building going up.
Yes. Sure.
Yeah. But we do that. Yeah.
And then in terms of learning how to do that, you must have had to get a license and go to school for a little bit. Or not.
You go to school, yeah. You go to school like two or three times a week for about 4 or 5 years as an apprentice. Yeah. And they don't pay you to do it, which is wonderful. But you do learn a lot. Electricians are widely considered the smartest trade, and that's mostly by other electricians. The other trades don't like us much, so. But yeah, we learn a lot. We go to school. We have to pass tests and all types of shit because you don't want to get fucking electrocuted.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you must know a few people that have been electrocuted to their death. I mean, don't mean to get dark.
Not personally, but we've a couple people died last year. Like I think like in December, like a guy died in an actual electric explosion
in a tower,
and like doing like a huge switch, like a switch gear room where all the electricity comes in and all of it goes back out.
What would you say is the hardest project you've ever worked on?
Oh man. Sometimes you work with galvanized pipe that weighs like 4 times as much as regular pipe. So I was on the East Side Access job, which is Sunnyside Yards over there, and I was working in like a 12-foot fucking pit in the middle of the summer, and I was running like pipe that the length 10-foot length weighs like 160 pounds. And you got to spin it, and you got to carry it, and you got to bend it, and all types of shit under the sun.
Would you say it's one of the more dangerous jobs?
Yeah. I would say electricians got to be up there. Iron workers is pretty dangerous because they put the foundation of the building, all the iron. So that's real. But electricians probably have more danger than most trades. That's why we like test everything constantly. We lock stuff out so there can't be any accidents. But the construction workers, like, it's stupid enough. Like the amount of deaths we have come from falling off ladders. Like that's like by far how many like the top of the list of dying is falling from ladders.
Well, I do see construction workers when they go to the top of scaffoldings, or I guess the top of buildings, they always do have a rope. Is it sometimes the rope isn't strapped in correctly or what?
It's mostly guys don't tie themselves in a lot of times. Or if you go to the top of a 10-foot ladder and you fall off. Yeah. They want you to tie off above 6 feet, which I got news for you is very unrealistic because you have to tie on, and then if you have to move 2 feet that way, you got to tie back on. So it's like complacency. They teach you like don't become complacent in construction.
Right. I mean, that makes sense. Like doing the little things correctly and being hazardous,
tedious
all the time.
Yeah. Don't skip the steps. And they like you can't drink and do drugs on construction.
Bro, I see a lot of construction workers smoking weed around the corner.
Look, if you get caught, it's a big deal, right? They make you take all these fucking courses and shit, and we all do things. But like, if you're at work drunk and shit, like you could get in trouble.
Do they
you
drug
get other
test?
people hurt too? Yeah. Most jobs, like when you show up, they'll drug test you.
Like at the first day of the
first day
job.
Yeah, but I like to say, like, if you're not smart enough to know how to fucking pass a drug test. You shouldn't be high at work anyway. You know what I mean?
I gotta be honest though, bro. I played tennis in college, and that was a more difficult drug test to pass because you never knew when they were gonna test you. So I failed.
They popped them up,
times. Yeah. It's like partially
urine tests for fucking college.
Yeah, dude. And then like a guy is looking at your wiener like as you're peeing.
What for in college tennis?
Yeah.
Did you talk to a lawyer about that?
No, it was my fault that the team got drug tested anyway, dude. Like we got caught smoking the vape in our room, and then they drug tested us because of that.
That's hysterical.
So it was my fault. I wasn't one to be like, you know what? Now I'm calling the.
How old were you in college? Were you like 20 years old?
Yeah, like 19, 20.
That's funny.
What's the craziest story you have over the past 25 years? I'm sure you have a few, but is there any stories that stand out that have been super crazy for you?
There's some funny things I've besides accidents, like I've worked with like straight up crackheads. That's the funny part. like that's the funniest part of construction is that like I'll fucking make the same amount as like a crackhead. You know, like literally work hand in hand. But I've seen guys smoke crack at work, like no question about it.
Like out of the pipe.
Yeah, they go outside, they smoke crack, they come back. You'd be surprised how useful a crackhead would be in construction.
Well, I mean, because you're so locked in.
Well, it's also like, hey, dude, like this thing weighs 500 pounds. Like we either let fucking Frank the crackhead lift it or we wait for a crane or some shit, you know?
Just like
fucking let the guy smoke crack, bro. You know what I mean? Fuck, I'm not going in the crawl space. But I've worked like, but the funny part about like being an electrician in that scenario is those guys are also like borderline brilliant. Like electricians, we're problem solvers, right? So I worked with this one guy. He's probably the smartest guy I know to this day, but he was a fucking blazing alcoholic and a super cokehead. Like he just coke all day. But he at some point had glued his tooth. He had lost his tooth and glued it back in. And it used to just constantly fall out while he was talking. And then he would just glue it back in. That's like some of the funniest shit. Yeah, it's just, construction is like locker room talk. Like,
right, but you guys are I think I've seen one of your clips. You're saying that, or maybe it was something you wrote, maybe it was your story, that if any woman or anybody feels uncomfortable walking past a construction site and there's somebody following them, you say that construction workers are always the guys that would step in and save somebody.
Yeah, it's weird, man, how like these same guys can be like using slurs and shit and catcalling, like right? Yeah. But like I genuinely mean that from the bottom of my heart. Is like those are the guys you want protecting you, right? Because they're mostly good guys, but also because like they're waiting to beat the shit out of someone, like justifiably. Like there's so much tension in construction that like some guys are literally just waiting for an excuse to go fucking justifiably beat the shit out of somebody. Because we spend all day arguing with each other. Like screaming matches, and then like at the end of the day we'll shake hands and come in the next day.
And also you guys are just like lifting shit all day too.
It's very physical work, yeah. So we're like aggravated.
That would just like boost your testosterone too.
There's a lot of fucking
You're
testosterone.
Eating beans, eating potatoes.
Regardless of what the world looks like now, construction still has testosterone and like dudes. You know what I mean? There's women. I work with women. There's one today. She's fucking chopping concrete. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of adrenaline and testosterone and fucking, I want to be right about this. I want my idea to be used and fuck you. And you went behind my back and fucking all of this shit. And then you add in like, you know, some guys like to drink someday and it just becomes wild, bro.
Well, is that maybe during a lunch break?
They'll have lunch breaks. You're not going to really stick around long if you're walking around fucking hammered all day. You know what I mean? But if you get a good day's work, you go to lunch, you come back. The afternoons are kind of light in construction.
Well, because you end work in the early afternoon, theoretically, because you're up at 4 or 5 a.m.
I start at 6:30 in the morning. Yeah. Supposed to stay till 2:15. 2:15.
Well, I guess that depends on the job, though, theoretically,
It does,
right?
yeah. Some guys, we work through lunch. So we take we don't take lunch, we take like a long breakfast. And then we'll get out of there. But you have to get the work done. So like, I bust my ass to be able to leave early so I can go be there to pick my kid up. You know what I mean? Like I literally work hard. Patting myself on the back.
To shift gears here, do you see AI helping your job in a manner that you can't really see right now? Or do you think that it's going to take some jobs?
No, we can say it's actually, you can see it right now, crystal clear. Artificial intelligence, like the data centers that are being put up, like are making electricians rich at this point.
Really?
Yeah.
They're talking about how, or I've seen some YouTube videos about how it's really affecting the neighborhoods that are next to some of these data centers, like kids getting sick.
They're not
noises and things like that.
I don't have enough information to talk about the data centers. I do know they use a ton of water. And I feel like all of these data centers are now being put up for artificial intelligence, which seems ridiculous because most people use artificial intelligence to create fucking comedy flyers and fucking stupid videos.
Dude,
like,
that's
you know what I mean?
So funny you mentioned
why
that.
do we need that?
Bro, because the first vegan hot dog eating contest flyer I made, I used AI. I put it in a Facebook group and people were ripping me. People were like, the fact that this vegan is using an AI flyer to promote his event. So then I just made I went on Photoshop and I just made another one and it got a lot better. But yeah, I was like, guys, I'm doing a vegan hot dog eating contest. Could you settle down? But it did take a lot of people giving me shit to finally just make a normal one. But yeah, it's crazy how I guess people wouldn't even really think that. Or how would they even know? But now I wouldn't say that I use a ChatGPT every day, but I'll use it maybe more than Siri now.
I'm not lying. I'll use it to make a flyer in a second. Like, I mean, why the fuck wouldn't you? I made a flyer for my
20 seconds compared to 30 minutes.
Fucking 5 shots, you get a perfect flyer.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I also paint and I write, so I appreciate like art in its true form. But to think that like artificial intelligence can't help us on some level is ridiculous.
Well, to go back to what you said, how do you see electricians getting rich off of it?
Building the data centers alone, like there's fucking thousands of these things going up in the country right now. So like they are humongous buildings, and you'll have guys that travel. You'll have traveling electricians travel around, and like I don't know, like it's full employment. My local, we have a lot of people in my union, but we're at full employment. And the only 2 times I've seen full employment in 25 years was after 9/11 and Sandy. So literally fucking natural disasters. So
what was Hurricane Sandy like for you back in 2012?
It was fucking nuts, man. Like the basements of the subway was destroyed. Like all the infrastructure of the subway was destroyed. Everything was underwater.
Much everywhere.
Yeah, literally everywhere. And
every line, I would imagine.
Every line, and except like uptown, you start to go high once you go uptown. But the buildings, fucking basements, it was underwater for fucking forever. So again, electricians were super busy for about 6 years. That's a long time to be. The guys were making a lot of money, buying cars. They ripping out wire. Like, so in that scenario, like you'll demo the shit. You'll demolition the existing electrical, but you'll pull out like the old wire that's filled with copper. So it's like fucking pulling money out of pipes. So guys were fucking doing that, and it was just a ton of cash, dude.
When people complain about the subway system, what do you think is an aspect that can be fixed first? I know that's kind of a broad question, but do you think that it is the electricity on the lines, or what causes the delays in the subway?
I think I'm old enough to where I'm fucking starting to look into complaining about everything. So I don't take the subway as much anymore. I think it's litter. I think that like there's the fucking garbage. There's train fires all the time. But like the other day, like I'm taking it now to the job I'm on. there's just people on the tracks now. They'll be like, oh, we have a person on the tracks at 34th Street. And it's like, what the fuck what are we doing on the subway? There's no accountability on the subway. For the people outside of New York City, everything you've heard about the subway is 100% true. Like, it's out of control. I'm pretty lucky right now. I take the A and the E, so I just get on and I dip up. But I don't, like this morning, the train took 22 minutes to get, and it was fucking...
You know what's interesting?
6 o'clock in the morning.
I saw there was like a reel on Instagram. The Tokyo train was like 30 seconds late, and they sent out an apology email to everyone. You know,
Asian cultures.
It is. I mean, it is crazy how you think about New York and you think of some of the bigger cities in the United States and how far behind their public transportation system is. It's wild to believe. You know, like California is hundreds of millions of dollars into their public transportation system, and they're not even close to being done. And then meanwhile, you have all these other cities throughout the world, and they really have it locked down. You think about the Tube in London.
Yeah.
And like we were saying in Tokyo, it's just like...
And ours is so complex. Like, it should work. Like, there's trains and buses that go everywhere. I think the human condition plays a huge part in it. And what I mean by that is just like...
You mean like the people on the truck?
Yeah, people have no fucking respect at all. Like, you know what I mean? Like taking fucking bikes and... Now they're taking bikes and scooters on the train and fucking...
I mean, I will say, though, if you are just taking one train, a few stops, I mean, in my circumstance, I feel like it's always pretty much reliable, I guess, unless you're going super late at night. But when people are taking 2 or 3 trains and then taking a bus, like
you could be different times.
Yeah, you can be 30 minutes delayed easily. You know, it's like traveling by car in the suburbs.
It's brutal,
like in LA or something.
Yeah, and then they came like I take the A train, so now they had the new A trains. They spent I don't know how many billions on the new A trains, and there's fucking less seats.
Yeah,
like,
such a jam. I don't get it.
Like, who the fuck came up with that idea?
There's
no corner seats, man. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that is funny how they did that.
How does that help? Yeah. So it's also mismanagement too, clearly. Like, the fucking, they don't maintain shit. Like, if you could just take one look at the subway and know that they're not taking care of it. To clean it, to paint, maybe throw a little paint. What's the station that's fucking Delancey? They're redoing one of the real old ones that's been
I know
it might be Essex or Delancey.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I know that they're also redoing Penn Station, so that's a huge job.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I flew into Newark Airport like a month and a half ago. I mean, that's not related to MTA, but it's like it's New Jersey Transit, which is kind of similar to New York. I know that they've changed a lot of things in Jersey City and made it a lot nicer, the New Jersey Transit. But bro, you go into Newark Airport and it's like landing in 1970. No signs. The train is gross. I think that just public transportation needs a whole new AI focus and a whole new AI job.
Fucking type in, how do we fix the MTA into ChatGPT, dude? Right? Just
but dude, then they're gonna figure it out, and then it's gonna be a nightmare for all of us.
Let the computer figure it out. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. I'm a believer of like the MTA. It should be a service, right? It's clearly a business.
How do you mean should be a service?
I mean, like, we shouldn't fucking pay for it. Is what I mean. Like, I genuinely like fucking believe like the subway should be free.
Like tap water, kind of?
Like tap water, or just it should be a service. Like look, I do okay for my job, but there are people who struggle, and like $6 a day might seem like nothing to people.
You add that up, man, and then you have to pay $20 for lunch.
$20 lunches, yeah. Well, look, if you spend the $20 on lunch, maybe you don't take the subway,
but in fairness, it's more difficult to spend less than, I mean, I don't know how much you and your coworkers spend on lunch a day. It's
These
tough
guys
to
are fucking nuts, yeah.
Well, it's tough to spend less than $15. You know?
I don't eat at work, and I told the guy at work the other. I said I'd go broke if I ate 2 meals at work every day. Yeah, because I eat. I have a good appetite, but I don't know. Someone was saying that fucking, what's the guy, Kevin O'Neill, the billionaire?
He said if you're making $70,000 a year and spending $28 on lunch, you deserve to croak or whatever.
28 seems ridiculous. 28, because you could go to Chipotle and get a fucking sofrito bowl for $13. You know,
I don't know, man. 13 is like that's without the works. I'd say you're spending probably $17.
That's with no tortillas.
Yeah. Well, if you get the vegan bowl, $13.
That's what I do. I get the sofrito shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this for bang for buck, that shit is pretty heavy too. It's like 2 pounds of food. So.
Well, but it's getting smaller and smaller. In fairness to those finance bros who are spending that much money,
I make them double.
Whoever.
So there's a trick to you gotta don't say I want both rices and both beans.
Say it first.
You say I want white rice,
and then
you get the full. I want brown rice, and you get the. But they hate for some reason they hate you when you do that. Like they fucking own the place. The Chipotle by me, the Chipotle by me runs out of rice like twice a day,
crazy.
dude. Like I go in there and be like, we don't have no brown rice. I'm like, how bad are you at your job? Like everything you sell has rice.
You know
in
what
it.
I do see? I see sometimes like ladies hanging around construction sites with a cooler, and then they sell
empanadas and shit.
Yeah, empanadas, but then also like a sandwich and a drink for cash. You know, they're not paying any rent. They're not paying any licensing fees. They're probably selling it for. How much? $8, $10?
Probably 10 at the most. Yeah, like bodega prices, like real deal, not deli
frijoles
prices.
And
prices,
rice, or even less than that.
Yeah, it's a good hustle, man.
Yeah, I agree.
People selling gloves and shirts outside and all types of shit.
Dude, yeah, by Penn Station, it's been crazy the past like 2 weeks. The amount of guys that are on pretty much every 50 feet selling these Knicks shirts for $20. Yeah. They're outside. During the playoff run, then after the Eastern Conference Finals, then after the finals, so selling championship shirts for $20. And I imagine they're making these shirts for $5, you know?
Probably, some Chinese sweatshop, probably.
They're selling it probably wholesale for $5. The guys who are selling it are getting for $10, and then they're selling it for $20 to us. You know, and it's still like people are willing to pay $20 for that Knicks shirt.
People are gonna eat those shirts up for the next fucking couple weeks,
Knicks.
dude. Yeah.
But it was crazy. I imagine there was probably some work that had to be done around the MSG area and also other parts of the city because people were going crazy, dude. You know, tearing down light poles and things.
We did a good job of reinforcing the stereotypes of what people think New York City is like. Yeah,
man. I can only imagine not living in New York City and be like, look at these hooligans. Because it was after pretty much every game. Starting in at least the Eastern Conference Finals.
I think it's just people looking for a reason to go nuts. Those, you know what I mean? Like those are. I'm a Knicks fan since I'm 4 years old. Like I didn't want to go outside and smash any windows. I was in my fucking living room crying for Patrick Ewing. You know what I mean? Like I got time to burn a school bus.
Yeah. I grew up in New York City as well. Pretty much born and raised. I mean, I moved here when I was 6 weeks old.
Nice.
And then I lived here from New Brunswick, New Jersey.
Same shit.
So I was born there and then moved to New York. And yeah, man, I love New York City. Unless a project or maybe a love interest brought me somewhere else, I'm here my entire life. But I would think it would be more a project for X amount of months and then, you know, come back to New York.
You've always had an apartment here, is what, right?
Yeah. Well, I went to college at UConn in Connecticut. So I lived there for college. Yeah, I went there for 4 years and then I've been in New York. So my parents have always lived here though.
Nice. What's UConn like?
Completely different. I think it was while I was there, I was thinking to myself, like, this is just brutal. It's the freezing cold farmland. We had a very good basketball team, which is cool. It kept me interested. I was on the tennis team for 2 years. Like those things were cool, but besides that, on a day-to-day basis, it was just nothing.
Boring as fuck, right?
Dude, the closest city was Hartford, which is like 30 minutes away, and we would never go to Hartford. There's nothing going on.
There's nothing to do in Connecticut.
We would just go for like a basketball game or something.
Foxwood. Did they have Foxwoods when you went to college?
Yeah. I never went, but or maybe I did one time. I can't remember.
I go to Foxwoods.
I went to a strip club one time. It was not for me. It was like in the middle of nowhere.
What are the women like in a Connecticut strip club?
I don't even know, dude. I didn't get a dance. That stuff weirds me out.
I've never been a strip club guy. Like I'm a sex addict and I'm a horn dog. Right, but I've never ever been a strip club guy. I just have never understood why you're giving this woman your money when that guy's giving her his money. Like everyone's giving this woman their money. Like what the fuck? Like
so
you have things you need to eat.
Do you understand OnlyFans more? Maybe.
OnlyFans makes me so mad.
I don't have any subscriptions. Why does it make you mad?
Because I wish I could.
You could do it, dude.
But you'd have to be gay. You gotta be gay though.
Do you? I guess you're right. Yeah, women are not.
They're not signing up to see me naked,
dude. But bro, if you were in your overalls and you took off your socks and you were like construction photos,
I just pretend like I'm coming home from a long day's work. Right?
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, people love feet
kick
sometimes.
my boots off.
Like even on this podcast, sometimes like that some of these people will comment on the female guest and like she couldn't have taken off her socks. Like, dude,
Yeah, people are fucking creepy, dude.
People love feet too, man.
People are fucking nuts, bro.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. But yeah, man. So you've lived quite the New York City life, dude. You know,
Yeah.
worker, grew up here.
Yeah, man, I
You've
was
seen some
outside
stuff.
when I was young and all types of shit. And then 9/11 changed the city. Like I would come from an era where you used to be able to really run around and do shit. Like I'm not supporting it, but I used to ride on the sides and tops of trains. Like we used to do
Subway surfing.
crazy shit like that. Yeah, write graffiti in broad daylight in the middle of the day. Go bomb the fucking train yard.
What does that mean?
That means go like in the train yard where they keep all of the trains and write on the trains that aren't moving around. Just fucking write on them and stuff. Yeah.
How do you feel like 9/11 changed the city?
Cameras everywhere. They started putting cameras everywhere. There were more cops. The Homeland Security became a thing. So it just changed the scope of America. Like not at all America, but New York City. Like New York City used to be very wild westish. In a good way though, because like I tell people, like my kid, I was telling him the other day, like criminals used to be over there, and like everyone else used to be over there, and you stayed away from there. And that's like New York City was. Now the criminals they're everywhere.
Yeah, they're all over the place. They're in the mix. Well, wouldn't you also say though that that's just kind of with the times, with everything changing?
Yeah, it's a very weird
Technology.
shift. Yeah. Well, you mean as far as the crime or the?
Yeah, crime, and then also just technology changing everything.
There just seems to be a shift in technology. Yeah, there's a lot of scams now. There's so many. Every day there's like a new scam.
Well, I mean, that's, we go back to the beginning of the episode, people forgetting things, or like older people with dementia and things like that, and they just don't know how technology works. If somebody from Chase or whatever, Wells Fargo, calls their phone, they have their money in that bank, so they want to make sure that it's all good, things of that nature.
I seen an article or like a reel the other day about like a 30-year-old getting scammed.
Oh, damn.
And I was like, you know what? You're fucking young enough where you deserve it. Like, you
Well,
should be
sometimes
fucking smarter.
Sometimes I'll get cold emails like, "Hey, love your content and comedy. Would love for you to perform at our private event. Are you available?" And like the first couple of times I have responded to that.
Yeah.
And then I'll get to the point where they're like, "Okay, send us your ACH information and your social security number." And I'm like, "All right, scam. Now I get it." But I mean, for a comic who's trying to make a few bucks, you're going as far as you can. And then also that happened to me with an acting gig pretty recently. Someone asked me to send them self tapes, which I did, and then they asked for that, and I was like, "Oh,
that sucks, dude."
I sent you a self tape. You like wasted 45 minutes of my life.
Yeah, how many takes do you do? Yeah, it's got to be fucking exhausting. What was the role for?
It was a feature film. They said I was like a brother.
Well, you got the
something.
face for a feature.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, my man.
Yeah.
They're like pays $2,500 a day. I was like, all right, dude.
You could be the next Patrick Reed.
Well, dude, who's Patrick Reed? Patrick Bateman, you mean?
No, fucking Fantastic Four.
Who's Patrick Reed?
Mr.
How do I not know who that is?
Mr. Fantastic, the stretchy guy.
All right, pop him up right here. Now I know when I'm watching it back. All right, I'll take that. Yeah, man. So I think it does kind of all blend together, though, like stand-up comedy and then acting, especially now. It seems like more people who started off doing stand-up are doing more acting, and then not the other way around, though. I'll tell you that. I think like stand-up is purest form of art.
Going up there and fucking figuring out how to not make a jerk of yourself. Yeah. In front of fucking strangers,
Yeah, I think you do have more leniency in that people don't know which direction you're going to take it. Like when you're acting, you have your set lines, and then yes, you can improvise off of your set lines and the circumstance, but everyone else around you will know theoretically when you're making a mistake. But stand-up comedy, it's really all up to you. It's really like a lone person sport, and I think that's also why we have a lot of former athletes doing stand-up comedy, whether it's
the
just
need
like
to kind of almost compete with
compete, but then also individualization, and then just knowing that if you're going to be great at it, it's going to take a long time.
The work ethic.
Sure.
Yeah. I see that.
Like, dude, I gotta say, props to you, man. Like, you're up at 4 or 5 in the morning, and then you're working a full day of work, and then you're hosting an open mic, you're doing shows. It's a lot.
It becomes a lot. It becomes overwhelming. Dude. Yeah, it can be a lot. So you pick and choose your spots. But thank you for the props on that.
Yeah, for sure.
But everyone's so busy in comedy, and just always doing something or trying to figure out what the next fucking move is or the next trend. So like, I have respect for like the people who do it every day. Like literally, I don't do it every day. Like there's days where as a dad in a construction, I have to just fucking do nothing. You know what I mean? But to be out there like every day is just, it's commendable. Like you could see they want it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if I want it as much as that. Like I enjoy it. So I don't have like aspirations to be like famous or anything. Like I want to be passed at a couple clubs, just do some spots during the week and maybe people, laugh and people follow me and I can still be the cool dad. There's nothing, as a comedian, there's nothing. Like you'd have to be a professional athlete to be cooler than me as a dad uptown right now. Yeah. It's nice.
Why is that? Because you do stand up?
Stand up, yeah. People really love comedians. And like everyone can say that, but then like they'll be like, hey, when's your next show? And you have one. You have shows and clubs, and there's like, oh shit, for real? And then you find out they're never coming. Ever coming,
Well, I will say, man, that the social media videos that you're putting out seems like you're starting to get a good amount of traction. And in today's climate and today's environment, that's all you really need, man. You need a few of those videos to go crazy. You get 50,000, you get 100,000 followers, and then you're on the road.
Then you do not, yeah, they can't
change your life.
You get to like 50, and I think that's a really sick number for people to book you. Just give you a shot. Like a lot of people, they don't have they do so many sketches and skits that they don't have as much stand up online anymore because I think it's just so saturated. So people have gone to skits, but yeah, like a year ago, I was getting frustrated with the stand-up clips. Like you edit a clip for like 2 hours and then you go on and it's like fucking, you get nothing. So I was like, I'm going to try to be more myself. And I started to shoot the fucking stupid work videos. And then just slowly but surely, construction workers started to follow me. And then I get messages from dudes, hey, I'm on the job over here. It was fucking hilarious. They still don't come out to shows, guys. I can't wait for you guys to come out to shows.
They will.
But that's the point. You go from 2,000 to 10,000 to at some point, people will come out. I go to Long Island. All these guys live in Long Island, so I'll do like a show in Long Island. I'll get fucking 10, 15 people come out and meet some new dudes.
Do you know a lot of guys who are cops and firefighters?
No. I don't know. All of my friends are comedians and poker players at this point. Yeah, I don't know any cops, any firefighters. My dad was a firefighter, so I have the utmost respect for firefighters. Cops, we need them, but I don't know any. I don't know any.
I saw a post. Someone took a picture of a cop like standing on the corner, and the cop was severely out of shape. And then a person, which the comment got a lot of love, is like they're hiring pretty much. I don't want to say anyone. Obviously, no disrespect to NYPD. We obviously need the NYPD, but they're having a difficult time finding more people who want to be part of the NYPD because they're really not. People don't respect them as much as they did previously.
There's a very anti-police rhetoric going around.
In the last few years, yeah.
Especially in New York City. I mean, it's a shame. They came up with cashless bail, which also handcuffs cops. Like they just don't arrest anyone. Like there's people that live. I live in Washington Heights. There's like 4 or 5 people that literally live in the Citibank ATM next to the McDonald's. Like they just live there. Like there's an encampment in there, and I don't know. I come from an era where that never would have happened.
Why is that?
Because we used to respect society.
Well, why would that not have happened though?
The cops, would have. Whoever deals with that would have been there on like the first day. I say, you guys can't live here. Go somewhere else. You can't live in a Citibank ATM. I get it. There's people that need homes and shit and places to live. But there's a lot of people in New York City that like choose to be outside like that, So really, New York City is really weird like that. Like not everyone is. Some people choose to like live on the streets in New York City. But I don't want to have to really fight through 5 homeless people to get to the ATM. How do you feel about that?
I completely agree, and I see it as well. I obviously do have a spot in my heart for these people because, I grew up very lucky, and it's tough to see that sometimes, for sure.
Yeah, and then it's like we have the police and we have the resources, and we just fucking don't. I don't know. We just don't do anything for people in New York City. It's weird. We talk a lot about it. We talk a lot, but like I took the subway today. Like I just on the way home. Like it's weird. Like you just see a guy, he's standing there. And then he just lays down on the ground on the subway and goes to sleep. And it's like, on one hand, yeah, that really sucks, right? That guy, that's his life. But it's also like, can we do something about it? Can we make sure that doesn't happen? How do we figure out how that doesn't happen?
And it's potentially looking at the way other countries do it and don't have that issue, or not as bad.
Well, some countries, these people disappear. I don't know that's the answer I'm looking for. But I don't know, man. What do you do? What do you do when someone's sleeping on the street and you're like, hey, man, we have this place we can bring you, and they don't want to go? Yeah, I don't know. I am strongly considering a run for mayor.
No way.
I don't know, man. Like AOC did it. Spencer Pratt tried it. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't know how you would even approach something like that. Right?
But the idea is there.
But I feel like I've been in New York City for 49 years every day of my life. I'm clearly working. I'm a working dude, but at the same time, I'm a group home kid who grew up in the streets. Like I'm on 126th in Lenox with my boy Mike, and then I'm fucking downtown in Soho with someone else. It's like I'm all over the city, but more importantly than that, like I feel like I have answers. Like just like the first thing I would do on day one is I would hire whatever contractors to put cameras on every fucking corner. And I would, the gridlock, when people go through and they sit in the intersection, I'd make that $1,000 ticket first day. So we'd fix crosstown traffic the first week. I would, up by me, Washington Heights, double, triple park. First ticket's 300, second ticket's 600, third ticket's fucking 3,000.
For commercial vehicles
fucking
also?
We would make loading zones on every block for the trucks. Yeah, that type of shit. We'd have to figure out the subway. That would be like one of my first major things is how do we maintain this amazing complex structure that, like you said, is like one of the best should be one of the best in the world. We have other places to compare it to. I don't know. We got to figure out how to make the city safe again too, maybe a little safer. Not to get too political, but I probably would do some things different than the current mayor.
So you grew up in a group home?
I didn't grow up. I was like sent from my grandma, my aunt, to go to my dad, my grandma. I was just always around. Then I was 13 and my dad just dropped me off at the group home one day. I was a pretty bad kid. You ever see like the pictures online where like the kid will destroy the kitchen and fucking everything's torn apart, and they're like, what do I do with this kid? That I was kind of that type of kid. It was bad, but yeah, I think I spent like 3 months in the group home, and then my mom was able to sober up and come get me out of there. But I was a freshman in high school when that happened, so yeah, it took a while to even realize like how fucked up that was, because to me it was just kind of like part of how I grew up. You have a wild face on right now.
I'm just realizing that, bro. But you grew up in Glendale, or where'd you grow up?
I was born on 69 Place of Myrtle in a small apartment, and I grew up in Glendale. I moved out of Glendale when I was like 27, when I met my what is now ex-wife, and I moved up to Inwood, and I've been fucking uptown since I'm like 28. Yeah, 20 years.
I mean, growing up in that environment in the, I guess, 1980s, you must have seen some crazy things.
The 80s was crazy, bro. I just wrote a joke about we used to have cigarette machines. You ever see a cigarette machine?
Yeah.
Yeah. We used to have cigarette machines in like the fucking cafeterias and the bowling alleys and stuff. But when I was really little, my great-grandmother used to send me to the store with a note for cigarettes. Like, just go buy like 3 packs of Marlboro Reds. Yeah, remember like pre-crack?
PC?
Yeah, PC. That you should write that down. That's
no, you should write that down. This is part of your joke, isn't it?
That's funny. Yeah, I remember pre-crack and cops and firefighters. You really used to hate each other. And I had a dad who was a firefighter, so I remember that. Like he just fucking hated cops.
Why is that? The corruption and like taking money from drug dealers?
Maybe. It just fucking hated them. Like maybe it was like they made more money than them or some shit, or there was just such huge beef with firefighters and cops back in the day.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was funny. But I could have walked into the fire department when I was like 18 years old. And I was like, I don't think I can do that.
Why is that?
The danger of dying for me was the danger of and you know what, looking back, I was a lazy 18, you know, I probably, looking back, I wish I would have say that firsthand. But the problem is though, like, do I survive 9/11? Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you could have this great career, but like, shit, you know?
Well, what precinct would you have joined?
Oh, I think I would have been fucking somewhere on Queens probably. I don't know how it works.
So what do you mean? Would you have survived 9/11? Because they just send everybody there, and you don't
Bro, they sent every firefighter we had except one guy. They kept one guy at every firehouse.
How many guys are at a firehouse? Usually 20.
Probably fucking anywhere from 10 to 20 guys. My dad was the fucking guy who stayed behind at his fire. I mean, no one died. Well, maybe some people did, but he was the guy that stayed behind. Yeah.
Every firefighter from every borough.
Yeah. They were guys, they were calling, if I remember right, they were calling in like guys off the clock and shit and coming in. And retirees were going down there to help out and all types of shit. Yeah. Firefighters were probably the biggest presence 9/11 besides maybe EMT workers, but I think they lose like 340 fucking firefighters or something like that.
And then do you know how many NYPD people they called? I mean, not everyone, but
I can't take a guess. No, I know we lost 15 local 3 electricians officially
from
9/11.
Yeah, but they went into the building trying to.
No, they were working in the building. There's a story. I don't know how true. There's so many stupid stories, but this story, like they said, it happened that the first plane hit at like a couple minutes to 9, right, or something like that. That's when we take breakfast at 9 o'clock. So they were saying that the one kid, he went down to get breakfast, and as he was getting breakfast, the fucking plane flew right into the floor they were working on. Yeah. Can you imagine being that kid? You fucking run to the store while 9/11's happening. I do a joke. I said, I wonder if he bought the food first or if he got to keep the money.
Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, you talked about it before. That should change the city. I remember my mom was taking my sister to preschool first day, and she saw the plane going in, and then as she was leaving, she saw the
second
other
one.
plane.
Oh God. Yeah, what a brutal day.
Yeah.
But it did bring us together for a while, the same way the Knicks winning the championship did. It's like the same energy, right?
Yeah, full circle.
It's fucking 9/11 all over again.
Yeah, man. Rory, this has been a great chat, dude. I mean, I've always seen you around. I've always thought you was a happy-go-lucky, fun guy, and I'm happy you're doing this vegan hot dog eating contest.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be great. July 5th, 2 p.m. Hopefully, see all of you guys there. And if you have any final thoughts, please shoot it down the lens.
I just want everyone to behave themselves. Let's just try to fucking. If you see me, hug me, and if you need a hug when you see me, just ask for it. That's all you got to do is just ask for hugs. But everybody be safe. And Ted, thanks for coming. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Always a pleasure, dude.
Rory, good to see you, man. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Peace.